Your shadow is not random. It exists for a reason. You created it as a solution to your expansion. Maybe it sounds weird, but listen to me if you want to manifest your desired reality. There's always bumps on the road towards your desired reality. Having a house, a car, a lovely relationship. You meet this old mind that tells you a story about how you cannot have it. Some people call that the shadow, and then you do shadow work. But in this video, I will try to explain the shadow as your creation, because a shadow, your internal world, is actually a law that is made, and you made that law to make sure that reality stayed the same for you. And if you know what I'm saying in this video, if you really understand it, you won't ever need to listen to your shadow again, because you know it does nothing. It's in your control. Okay? So let's talk about it. How to remove your shadow, maybe not remove it, and how to start manifesting your desired reality. All right? And I'll do it as always, reading some scripture, drawing on my iPad, and I will try to make this a manifestation masterclass so that you know, okay, what should I do to have this car, this house, this partner, this career, whatever. All right? Good. So let's start off. Your shadow is a governing law. So your world started out by being only you, your awareness in a human being, right? When you were a baby, you were just in your body, looking out on the world, no mind yet, not really, right? Just being aware of what happened in front of you, right? And let me draw it for you. So let's imagine that your world became a box, and everything that happened inside that box was then you. But then one day, when you were 5, your mom or dad made you doubt yourself. Or maybe you watched them doubt themselves, right? It doesn't matter, it's the same to a kid. That means that awareness needed to expand in that direction. You became aware of something new. And let's draw it like the expansion of this. This is actually the expansion of the universe. You're just this microcosm of that. But what we needed then, there was already rules governing, laws governing your reality, gravity, and so on, right? It all existed. It all functioned. But now you became aware of something in your head. And which means that awareness expanding needed to create a version of you that doubted yourself. That's what happens, right? When a kid learns something, you expand in that direction. So how to develop a version of you that starts doubting yourself? Well, awareness needed your awareness. You needed to create a version of yourself that had that, so it could sustain that new reality that was offered to you. It was offered to you a childhood where you doubted yourself. You had no choice. You were a kid. You did not know about manifestation, or you didn't have the money to go to a psychology as a baby. So scratch that. Scratch that. You had this expansion. So we needed rules, right, to govern this. We needed laws for this expansion. And awareness expanding creates on behalf of path of least resistance. So what it would be the easiest way to create it, and that would be your shadow. And the shadow is just a human word, but something in your system that would keep on governing this, your subconscious, whatever people call it. Remember, that is always just labels, right? It's very important that you know that it's just a word. That does not mean it's true that you have a shadow, that you have a subconscious. It's a theory, right? And expanding in that theory will actually make it real. Good. So you needed rules. You expanded in that direction, not on purpose. Your parents helped you a lot, but you then created rules. Wow, look at you, very powerful manifestor, creating your own laws for your own new reality where you doubt yourself. Perfect example of how good you are at manifestation. So that means that the mirror remained intact. And that's the mirror principle, right? We've talked about that before. How the mirror should always be 1 to 1. So your internal world should always match your external world, so that it's always the same. So you're not surprised when you wake up in the morning about how much money you have. And this expansion also needed something to match it. So you started doubting yourself, which means that you needed to see an external reality that could confirm that could give you food and nourishment to that expansion. I know that might sound harsh. This is just objective. I'm not saying it's a fun journey. I'm just saying that that's how expansion works. It does not care what direction you go in. It expands in that direction, create laws along the way so that your identity matches your position in the physical reality and all other realities. I know this is deep, but please follow this video because it's really, really important that you know this. So you started doubting yourself and you had to see evidence. So we had to create a mirror. Awareness had to create a mirror, a physical reality that matched that. So you were not waking up one morning and saying, why does my external reality keeps on showing me that I should doubt myself when I never doubt myself? Right? That never happens. That never happens. Right? It never happens that you wake up in the morning, I'm so angry every day in traffic, but I never see anyone that I'm angry towards, right? It's always just 1 to 1. If you are very angry in traffic, it's normally because you have told yourself the story that there's somebody making you angry, all right? So the expansion creates laws, and we call that a shadow, or we call that chakras that needs healing, or we call that subconscious work, or we call that a nervous system. And to be honest, I don't want to step on anyone's toes, but please hear me out. All of it bows to God. God, Allah, consciousness, awareness, source, it's the same word for the same thing. Your inherent power. You're an extension of God, having amnesia. You forgot that you were born out of consciousness into this body, and that you hold a very important point of view, your own point of view. You forgot that. So you have something inside you that is beyond all the problems that you can think of. And every time you take on a problem, you make it real, you expand in that direction. Let me expand on my shadow. And that's what you do in normal therapy. And that's why a lot of normal therapy does not work. It's because it expands towards the problem. Let's talk more about the problem. And in recent years, finally, science or papers show that it does harm. You can actually hurt people. For example, people that have been to war, right? If you keep on talking about their traumas, you will re-traumatize them. Obviously, if you know something about awareness expansion, you know, why would we make the problem bigger? We actually need to expand in the opposite direction of being healthy, right? So we can realize we have a shadow. We can notice it in the present moment, but we will need to realize it is somehow you. It's an extension of you. It's your creation. You manifested this shadow. It cannot hurt you. You are beyond it. And if you listen to it, you forget that. You have amnesia in that moment where your shadow tries to stop you. You believe in this mind that you also have manifested. Right? So let's move on. It's all underneath God. So the only thing that really changes reality or really bends reality immediately is I am. It is knowing that there's only one God. Because all other belief systems, but I believe that shadow healing is the way to your desired reality. I believe that chakra work is the belief. It's actually blasphemy. I'm not saying it to be harsh. I'm saying it so that you realize it is idolizing something else than God. It is taking that and saying that this is God. That light or God or thou, whatever you would like to call it, cannot expand when this happened. And that's a lie. If you go into a dark room and you light a match, notice how little light it needs to light up the entire room. No darkness can stop light. No darkness. Right? Let's move on. Let's draw something very powerful for you now. So what does that mean? Well, it means that you need to start expanding. And I would like to draw two circles for you. So we have physical reality on top, and we have awareness on the bottom. Physical reality moves in time and space, right? It goes in this direction. So let's say that you started in the middle and you just went around in life, right? And now you are here. And let's say that these directions, they have labels. They don't, but let's just say they do, right? Let's say that you are unhealthy and poor, right? You think that you are bound to this place, but you have just made sure that you feel bound to this place, because that is how reality becomes solid, by solidifying it in all ways. So you always believe in this truth. So you always have a mind that matches it. You always have a shadow that matches it. And not to be kidding, you also have a body that matches it, right? Your entire system matches your expansion perfectly, right? But it's not you. You are the awareness behind that mind. You are just the observer inside your head that just kept on observing as a child, took it in, and now as an adult, you still observe, but just observe your own mind. And believe that mind that you created. But you believe the story the mind tells as if it's true, but you're the one telling the mind what to do. So right now in this position over here, right? Let's draw it in another way. In this position, the red position in physical reality, right? You then have a mind that matches that exactly. So if you say to me, but Chris, I doubt myself. Obviously you doubt yourself. You've created a mind that doubts itself. That's why you have a physical reality that matches that appearance perfectly. That's not something to worry about. Why would you worry about that? You have created it. How very powerful of you. You have also a shadow, subconscious, you have a body, you have all the right symptoms. You have done such a great job of manifesting everything to be in perfect alignment with your expansion, right? But now let's go back, right? It's so important. This is PR. So the first circle is physical reality. We'll say PR, right? This right here, down at the bottom, is then your awareness. And awareness always goes back to God, right? So this in the middle right here, right? This is you, it's the present moment, it's God, it's everything all at once, all the time. Yeah, it's just everything. When you put your attention on something, a thought, an object, you stretch that awareness into infinity. And the border of this circle is then infinity, right? So we can take, just momentarily, we can take awareness and center it here. That's called attention. Tension. You stretch awareness out like a rubber band, put it on something. What is that? That is the joystick of reality. If you have ever been so lucky or unlucky, whatever, I don't know why I put that word in there, to sit with a remote or a joystick for some PlayStation, Xbox, whatever, you will know that you, by putting in a direction with your finger, you start going in that direction. But the joystick does not move. The little thing you're pushing moves just slightly. But it really has a big effect in the game you're playing. And that's the same with your awareness. You just put it in a direction. So awareness does not believe in time or movement, so it does not create anything. You can go to the stars with your awareness in 1 second, right? It does not take you time to see the star. You just see it immediately, right? So how to put this? But this right here, your position in awareness creates the route you're taking in physical reality. So these two, they are very much connected. Right? If you can, let's say that you wanted to go, let me give you another example, because this is powerful. So let's say this is physical reality, and you started in the middle, and you wanted to go down here, right? That would mean that you would take your awareness and you would put it down here. No route in between. You would simply stretch it out, focus on this area, and physical reality will start moving in that direction. Whatever shows up on that direction is not up to you. The how is not up to you. Maybe the what is up to you, but more importantly, who. Who is up to you? Who do you decide to be? Because who is actually this placement right here. I am that I am. Who do you say I am? Right? So let's read some scripture that really matches this so you understand. Because when you take on a place in awareness, well, I am rich, you expand in rich direction. If you take on the code of I am healthy, you expand in that. So awareness, God, this right here, this circle is God, is actually the mechanism behind reality trying to do something. So you just decide who you are, and awareness starts flowing just like a tsunami in that direction, just changing everything on its way, removing buildings, changing entire realities just to make sure that you can have whatever you want, creating new laws, creating a new mind. In physical reality, it will take some time because you will need to create a new mind, new shadow, new subconscious, new system. Everything has to align. And whatever you need on that expansion direction, you will get it. So you will be served a problem to solve your nervous system. You'll be served the perfect YouTube video on the perfect day so that you could realize something that you needed on your expansion. Everything is always perfect. You just don't know it yet. But good. Let's read some scripture. It was often a tangent. I think it was a good tangent, but let's go on. So, obviously, let's start with the Quran and then let's go on to the Bible. But obviously, in Islam, it's very big to talk about how there's only one God, right? Some Muslims even believe that Allah means Al-Ilah, the God, so there's only one. But let's take this one from Surah Al-Ikhlas. He is Allah, one, none is comparable to him, right? To realize there's only one creator, your awareness. Your shadow might stop you because you believe in it, but it's actually the devil at work. If you continued expanding, saw the shadow as what it is, oh yeah, I built that. You're running on a road. You see an old house, very ugly house. Hey, I built that. And you maybe even feel bad because today you're way better at building houses. But instead of stopping at the house, yeah, I'm so bad at building houses. You just keep on running towards God. You just keep on expanding in the direction that you want. All right? Next one. Wherever you turn, there is the face of Allah. This is the perfect analogy actually for that part of scripture, right? Because you cannot expand in a direction there's not God. All directions are perfect representation of that expansion. So maybe you don't like your physical reality right now, but it's a perfect one-to-one of your internal world, always. Are you surprised when you wake up in the morning? I will encourage you to actually start being surprised, but negatively surprised. Obviously not in a bad way, but really move your awareness internally to being something that reality does not show that you are yet. Okay? But that wherever you turn, there is the face of Allah really needs to tell you there is no outside world. I know that in some of my videos I talk about making the distinction about outside world and inside world, but I only do that to teach you that you need to separate yourself from what you have previously created. It's all the same and it's all God. It's all unity. There is nothing to solve in external reality. Nothing. And obviously, you know that from the Bible, I am that I am, right? Identity and existence that collapse into one statement. That's the ultimate authority, right? It's not, yeah, but I would like to be rich. I hope to be rich one day. No, I am rich because I say I am rich. I am, the first part of I am, your awareness, God. And second, I am your identification or what you choose to identify with. Say that sentence and you are it in that moment because you have just taken awareness in the middle. Let's take it in red so you can see it. Just taken awareness, and in that moment, boom, okay, I have localized myself. I have positioned myself as a rich being in awareness. And now I will just watch my physical reality as a movie catching up to me over the next year or so. Half a year, 1 month. Don't put a time limit on it, but just see how it unfolds. Bunch of bullshit, a bunch of good stuff, it all collapses. And sometimes it collapses in a beautiful way, sometimes it collapses in an ugly way. But it's all in your favor. Isaiah 45:5, also from the Bible, I am the Lord, and there is no other. Apart from me, there is no God. Right? We don't need to really digest that. But shadow is not a God. Chakra is not a God. Nervous system is not a God. Therefore, light, expansion, awareness, God, is more powerful than that which you are trying to heal right now. Let's see if I have more that I want to read for you right now. Oh, there's so many, but I'm not sure we need more actually in this video. What you then need to do is choose who you are. Right? It's not how. It's not even what. It's who. Who do you say that you are? And to put it even more extreme so you really get the idea of this video, who do you say that God is? Right? And you can take it even further. Who does God say you are? And you will know who God says that you are because it will feel good. Good feelings, they are the alignment between mind, your thoughts, and awareness. When they agree, you feel good. So when you have a thought in your mind, I'm unperfect, and it feels bad, it's because awareness, God is telling you, hey, stop lying. Okay, I am perfect. Yeah, that really gives you relief, right? So I'm perfect? Yes. Now in that moment, you're actually realizing the very essence of yourself. That you are perfect, that you are not lacking, that everything you want can be on your road of expansion, simply by knowing it. And that's the law of knowing. I talk about that in other videos. The law of knowing is this. I know that when I have God, Allah, consciousness, source, whatever I call it, I can have everything. I also know that I already have everything. And what I see in physical reality right now is a very limited point of view based on what I have looked at. What goes on in my mind is also a manifestation. So I need to decide who am I right now? In all moments, who am I? What do I decide about reality? And once you start saying yes and no to your external reality, just like a powerful creator would, you realize that reality will comply. Reality bows to God. Right? Just become pure light. Leave that shadow alone. And walk with God. Walk with awareness. Fill your awareness with what you want. So that might be the final ingredients that we won't talk a lot about in this, but to expand in this direction, obviously you will need to spend less time in your mind, and that is a practice to leave that old story. Because let's imagine that your old story is blue. Your mind will try to say, no, move your awareness here where you feel bad. Move your awareness here where you feel fat. Move your awareness here where you feel broke. Move your awareness here where you feel unworthy. Right? Your mind will try to move your joystick in the direction of previous expansion. You have created a physical reality with your expansion that has created a mind. Everything is created in your favor. It's helping you to stay stuck, which is actually very powerful, that you have created the perfect representation of your internal world. Right? You're really powerful, and you are. So now you have to move it by decision, not by default. Okay? So let's end this video by saying, manifest by decision, not by default. All right? Perfect. Get out of here. See you soon.